Welcome to my garage, everyone. I picked up this 4-inch belt sander, belt and disc sander combination, beside the road that someone had just put out to get rid of. I have one of these, but the one I have is, one of the bearings is sounding a little scratchy, so I went ahead and picked this one up, and let's see if we can clean it up and see if it works better than the one I have now. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Here we go. Here is another roadside freebie I picked up. This is a 4-inch belt and 6-inch disc sander. I've got one of these, but the one I've got is showing its age. Replaced the bearings in it once, and some of the bearings are still haven't given me problems. So anyway, I picked this one up. There's some kind of stuff on there. It looks like corrosion. This is, I don't know. I think that'll come off with a little bit of elbow grease. I never really use the disc sander part of these things. I usually just take this stuff off and use the belt. So that's probably what I'll do with this one. I plugged it in. It does work. Let's give it a little shot here. There was a broken belt on it when I picked it up, and I've already thrown that away. These things are a little heavy, but yes, it does work. So this will make a nice little project and be a useful tool. So let's give it some love. Here's this 4-inch belt sander that I picked up off the street a few weeks ago. And I've determined that the motor works, it's good, that's part of it's good, but it won't run true. You can't get the belt to stay centered. It always wants to walk this way. So that's not acceptable, obviously. So I think the time has come to tear into this thing, see if we can do something about that. I have taken one of these apart before. It's not particularly fun. There's a big old spring in there, and if I remember, that thing is really hard to get back in place once you take it off. So I had another one. The bearings were going bad in it, so I got rid of it, and this is my only 4-inch right now. I have some other belt sanders, but anyway, I'm going to see if I can perhaps fix this thing. So I've already taken the table and the disc off, because I don't use them on the 4-inch belt sander. I have there's the 1x30 over there, and it has a disc and a table on it, which I do use. And here's my 2-inch, and it has a table and a disc that I use occasionally. So let's take it apart and see if we can figure out what's going on with it. Okay, these 2 bolts hold the belt cover on. So see if we can get the belt off. Maybe. Ugh. Huh. Interesting. Coping saw blade. Let's see if we can roll that off of there without pinching my finger. There we go. All right. I seem to remember doing this once before on another one, but I'm not quite sure what to expect here. So I'm suiting up pretty good. That spring's under a lot of tension, and I hope we don't have a disaster here. So let's see what happens. Well, that wasn't too scary. Now, I think this should push out the other end. Let's see. Yes, it does. I have a feeling that the problem is that this thing is bent a little bit, and it's not allowing enough adjustment here. So I'm going to have to ponder that for a little bit, and I'll make sure this, I know how this goes back together. So let me think about that, and we'll see what we want to do. I had to give this a couple of whacks with a hammer to get it loose, but it's loose now. So it's torn down about as far as I want to go. I think the bearings are okay, so I'm not going to do anything else, but I still believe that the problem is that this thing has become bent a little bit, or it could be just dirt and lack of lubrication that's allowing this thing not to run true. So next thing will be to clean everything up real good. I made a few modifications to this piece right here. And I found that if it works better if you adjust this nut here with a, let's see, this is a 10 millimeter. Yeah, 10. And I adjusted it, and when you pull this thing by hand, it seems to track. Seems to track okay. So let's cross our fingers. Now, I polished the shaft up here with some fine sandpaper. I think I went down to 800 grit and some WD-40 and spun it while I held the sandpaper on there. So it's polished up pretty good. Gave the pulleys a good soak in evaporust. So I think it's time for, almost time for the big test. You can see that these parts have all been cleaned and reassembled. So let's finish the assembly and cross our fingers and maybe it'll work. Well, here goes. Seems to be running true. So let's put the belt cover on and call this one quits. There we go, guys. It's back in service again, which is a good thing because I need this on a project I'm working on. I had to discontinue working on that project so I could finish this one. So back in service and running true. I think that 4-inch belt sander cleaned up rather nicely, and I believe I'm going to use it around here. Sometimes I have several belt sanders, and sometimes the 4-inch is quite useful and will do things that the others aren't quite suited for. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Please leave me a comment, and thanks for watching. Bye.